My landlord sent photos of damages to keep my deposit. He forgot about metadata. The notification sound on my phone usually means a text from my mom or a spam email about extending my car warranty, but at 4:45 p.m. on a Saturday, sitting on a stack of cardboard boxes in a cold, empty new apartment, it sounded like a gavel coming down. I knew what it was. I had been waiting for it all day. It was the final day of the month, January 31st, the legal deadline for my former landlord, Mr. Gorski, to send the disposition of my security deposit. $2,500. That wasn't just a number. That was my first month's rent at the new place. That was groceries for 3 months. That was the difference between sleeping on a mattress and sleeping on a mattress frame. I needed that check. I had scrubbed that old apartment until my fingerprints were gone. I had filled every nail hole with spackle, sanded it flush, and painted it with the color-matched sample I saved in a jar for 2 years. I had rented a carpet cleaner, the industrial kind that weighs as much as a small car, and dragged it up 3 flights of stairs. I wiped my hands on my jeans, taking a deep breath of the stale, dusty air of my new living room. I picked up the phone. Sender, Gorski Management. Subject, Security Deposit Disposition, Unit 4B. My thumb hovered over the screen. My heart was doing a frantic, syncopated rhythm against my ribs. Please be full. Please be full. I tapped the email. The text was short. Brutal. Mr. Daniels. Attached, please find the itemized deduction list for your tenancy at 402 Oak Street. Due to extensive damages discovered upon move-out inspection, the entirety of your $2,500 security deposit has been retained. Furthermore, you owe an additional balance of $450 for remediation services. Payment is due within 14 days to avoid collections. Attached, photos of damages. The air left my lungs in a single, silent whoosh. Additional balance. I whispered. My voice cracked. Remediation. I felt the heat rising in my neck, a prickly, radioactive sensation that started at my collarbone and crawled up behind my ears. It wasn't just anger. It was panic. The kind of panic that tastes like copper pennies. I didn't have $450. I didn't have the $2,500 he was stealing. I opened the attachment. The PDF loaded slowly on the spotty 4G connection. Item 1, carpet replacement, master bedroom, pet urine and stains. $1,200. Item 2, drywall repair, living room, large impact holes. $800. Item 3, deep cleaning fee, unit left in uninhabitable state, $500. Item 4, trash removal. $450. I stared at the screen. My vision blurred. Pet urine. I said aloud to the empty room. I don't have a pet. I'm allergic to cats. I've never owned a dog. Large impact holes. I walked over to the window, needing to look at something real, something outside of this nightmare. I had run my hand over every inch of those walls yesterday. They were smooth. They were pristine. I scrolled down to the photos. The first image showed a beige carpet that looked like a crime scene. Dark, jagged stains spread across the center like an oil spill. It looked filthy. It looked matted. The second image showed a fist-sized hole in the drywall, with jagged edges and white dust covering the baseboard. The third image was a kitchen sink piled high with trash bags and rotting food. I dropped the phone. It hit the floor with a clatter. I stood there, shaking. I was vibrating with a rage so pure it felt cold. He was lying. He wasn't just nitpicking, he was fabricating a reality that didn't exist. Gorski was a slumlord, sure. He took 3 weeks to fix a leaky faucet and once told me to buy a space heater when the boiler died in December. But this? This was criminal. I scrambled to pick up the phone. I hit reply. My fingers were trembling so hard I kept hitting the wrong keys. Me, Mr. Gorski, this is a mistake. I don't own a pet. The apartment was spotless when I left yesterday at 5 p.m. I have a video walkthrough. These photos aren't my apartment. I hit send. The response came back 2 minutes later. He was sitting at his computer, waiting for the fight. He probably enjoyed it. Gorski, the photos were taken by my maintenance team this morning, February 1st. They are time-stamped. The unit was destroyed. If you want to dispute it, take me to court. But be warned, my legal fees are added to your judgment if you lose. Pay the $450 or I send it to collections on Monday. Take me to court. The rich man's shield. He knew I was a freelance graphic designer. He knew I lived paycheck to paycheck. He knew I couldn't afford a retainer for a lawyer. He was betting on my poverty. He was banking on the fact that I would be too scared, too tired, and too broke to fight back. He thought he had checkmated me. I sat down on the floor, leaning my back against the cold wall. I pulled my laptop out of my backpack. I tethered it to my phone's hotspot. Okay, Gorski, I hissed, the sound of my own voice frightening me slightly with its intensity. You want to talk about timestamps? Let's talk about timestamps. I downloaded the photos he sent. There were 12 of them. High-resolution JPGs. He hadn't even bothered to convert them to a PDF file within the email, he just attached the raw files. Lazy. Arrogant and lazy. I opened the file folder. I looked at the file names. img_4402.jpg, img_4403.jpg. Standard iPhone naming convention. I hovered my mouse over the first image, the carpet stain. Right-click. Properties. A small window popped up. I clicked the tab labeled Details. This is where the ghost lives. This is where the digital footprint hides. It's called EXIF data, exchangeable image file format. Every digital camera, every smartphone, embeds a secret code into every picture it takes. It records the camera model, the shutter speed, the aperture, the ISO. And the date. My eyes scanned down the list of data points. Camera maker, Apple. Camera model, iPhone 10. F-stop, f/1.8. And there, halfway down the list, in a plain, uneditable text field. Date taken. I squinted at the screen, making sure I wasn't hallucinating. Date taken, June 14, 2019. 10:42 a.m. 2019. I moved into that apartment in August of 2022. The photo of the destroyed carpet was taken 3 years before I ever unlocked the front door. I felt a laugh bubble up in my chest. It was a dark, jagged sound. You idiot, I whispered. You absolute, lazy idiot. I checked the next photo. The hole in the wall. Date taken, June 14, 2019. 10:45 a.m. The trash in the sink. Date taken, November 22, 2018. He wasn't even using photos from the same tenant. He had a folder. A damages folder on his desktop. He was recycling old photos of previous disasters, probably from tenants he had rightfully charged years ago, and using them to rob every single person who moved out of his building. It was a system. It was an assembly line of fraud. I sat back. The panic vanished. The fear evaporated. In its place, a cold, predatory focus took over. I could just email him back. I could say, hey, the dates are wrong. He would probably panic, make up an excuse, say, oops, wrong file, and send me my check. But that wasn't enough. Not for the heart attack he just gave me. Not for the $450 threat. Not for the years of ignoring my maintenance requests. I needed to nail him to the wall. I needed him to confess. I needed him to double down on the lie so that when I pulled the rug out, he would fall hard enough to break something. I opened my email client. I hit reply to his threat. Mr. Gorski. I am very confused. I am looking at these photos, and I simply do not recognize this damage. I take great pride in my home. Are you absolutely certain these photos were taken today? Is it possible your maintenance team sent you the wrong files? I would hate for there to be a misunderstanding. Please verify that these images reflect the condition of Unit 4B as of this morning, February 1st, 2026. If you confirm this, I will have to consult with my family regarding the payment. I hit send. I was baiting the hook. I was giving him an out. A smart man would take the out. A smart man would check his files. Gorski was not a smart man. Gorski was a greedy man. And greed is a blinder. 10 minutes later. Ping. Gorski, I took the photos myself, Daniels. Stop playing games. I walked the unit at 8 a.m. this morning. The place is a disaster. The smell of cat urine is overwhelming. I am not mistaken. You have 24 hours to pay the balance or I am filing a small claims suit and reporting this debt to the credit bureaus. Do not test me. I took them myself. 8 a.m. this morning. Gotcha. He was now on record, in writing, claiming that photos taken in 2019 were taken today. He had lied to obtain money. That is the textbook definition of fraud. I didn't reply immediately. I needed a bigger gun. I called Mike. Mike isn't a family lawyer. Mike is my friend from college who passed the bar exam on his first try and now works for a firm that specializes in tenant rights. Mike hates landlords. He calls them land leeches. Yo, Mike answered. It's Saturday night. You buying the first round? I'm buying the whole bar if this works out, I said. Check your email. I just forwarded you a thread. I heard the clicking of a keyboard on the other end. Okay. Gorski. Deposit. Photos. Oof, that carpet is nasty. Check the metadata, Mike. I sent the raw files in the second email. Silence. Then, a low whistle. 2019, Mike laughed. Oh, this is beautiful. This is poetry. He said he took them himself this morning. In writing, I confirmed. Okay, Mike's voice shifted. He went into shark mode. Here's the deal. In our state, if a landlord wrongfully withholds a security deposit in bad faith, and lying about the date of photos to fabricate damages is the definition of bad faith, the tenant is entitled to the return of the deposit plus damages equal to twice the amount of the deposit. That's triple damages, Danny. 3 times $2,500. $7,500. Minimum, Mike said. Plus attorney fees. Plus court costs. And since he used email to demand the money based on fraudulent evidence, well, if we wanted to be really nasty, we could threaten to forward this to the district attorney. But let's start with the money. Draft it, I said. I'm doing it now. I'll put it on the firm's letterhead. It scares them more when it has a watermark. 30 minutes later, an email landed in my inbox from Mike. It was a PDF attached to an email addressed to Gorski. I read it. It was scathing. It was precise. It was violent. Subject, Notice of Intent to Sue for Fraud, Unit 4B. Dear Mr. Gorski. I represent Mr. Daniels regarding the fraudulent retention of his security deposit. You have stated in writing, on 2 separate occasions, that the photographic evidence provided was captured by yourself on February 1, 2026. However, a forensic analysis of the exchangeable image file format, EXIF, metadata embedded in your attachments conclusively proves that these images were created on June 14, 2019, utilizing an Apple iPhone X. By presenting falsified evidence to demand payment, you have engaged in a deceptive practice under the Deceptive Trade Practices Act. Furthermore, your retention of the deposit based on this fabrication constitutes bad faith retention under State Property Code 92.109. We are demanding the immediate return of the full $2,500 security deposit. Additionally, pursuant to the statute allowing for treble damages in cases of bad faith, we are demanding a penalty payment of $5,000, for a total of $7,500. Payment must be received via certified check or wire transfer within 48 hours. If payment is not received, we will file a civil suit for the full amount, plus legal fees, and we will be submitting a formal complaint to the State Attorney General's office regarding your fraudulent business practices. See attached, Metadata Analysis Report. Sincerely, Michael Ross, ESQ. I hit forward. I sent it to Gorski. Then I sat in the dark of my new apartment and waited. It was 6 p.m. At 6:05 p.m., my phone rang. It was Gorski. I let it go to voicemail. At 6:06 p.m., it rang again. I let it go to voicemail. At 6:08 p.m., a text came through. Gorski, call me. There has been a misunderstanding. I typed back, all communication must go through my attorney. Do not contact me directly. At 6:15 p.m., another email arrived. Mr. Ross, I have reviewed your letter. It appears my clerical staff uploaded the wrong file folder to the email chain. It was an honest administrative error. I am a busy man and I have many units. I am willing to refund the $2,500 deposit immediately to resolve this confusion. I will waive the $450 cleaning fee as a gesture of goodwill. I forwarded it to Mike. Mike texted me, LOL. He's scared. Clerical staff, my ass. He said he took them himself. Don't settle. He knows if this goes to court, the judge will audit his records for every tenant he's had since 2019. He'll lose his license. Mike replied to Gorski. Mr. Gorski. Your previous email explicitly stated I took them myself this morning. This negates the clerical error defense. The demand stands at $7,500. We are drafting the filing for Monday morning. Saturday night passed. I slept on my mattress on the floor, but I slept like a baby. I dreamed of justice. Sunday morning, 9 a.m. My phone pinged. A notification from my bank app. Zelle transfer received, $7,500 from Gorski Management LLC. He folded. He folded like a cheap lawn chair. He didn't even wait for the 48 hours. He was terrified. He paid triple just to keep me quiet. Just to keep me from opening the box that would show the world he had been running this scam for years. I called Mike. He paid, I said. Of course he did, Mike laughed. He bought your silence. It was the cheapest option he had. Should I report him anyway? I asked. Technically, you settled, Mike said. But, there's nothing stopping you from leaving a Google review. Just stick to the facts. Facts aren't defamation. I bought a couch that day. A really nice one. I bought a 65-inch TV. I filled my fridge with food that wasn't ramen. And then, I sat down at my new computer and opened Google Maps. I found Gorski Management. 2.5 stars. I clicked Write a Review. Title, Check your metadata. I moved out. He sent me photos of a destroyed apartment to keep my deposit. The photos were from 2019. I checked the metadata. He had to pay me triple damages to avoid a lawsuit. If you are a tenant of Mr. Gorski, and he kept your deposit based on photos, right-click the file and check the date. You might be owed a lot of money. I posted it. Within a week, the review had 40 likes. 2 weeks later, I got a message on LinkedIn from a girl named Sarah. Sarah, hi, I saw your review. Gorski kept my deposit last year. He sent me a photo of a carpet stain. I still have the email. I just checked the metadata. It's the same photo. June 14, 2019. Can I get your lawyer's number? I sent her Mike's number. Then another message came. And another. Mike is currently building a class action lawsuit. He says there are over 50 plaintiffs. They found the same hole-in-the-wall photo used in 12 different units. Gorski isn't just going to lose money. He's going to lose his buildings. I walked past my old building yesterday. There was a "for sale" sign on the lawn. Not a "for rent" sign. A "for sale" sign. I stopped and looked at it. Mr. Gorski thought he was the landlord. He thought he owned the property, and by extension, the truth. He forgot that in the digital age, every file tells a story. And sometimes, that story is a confession. So, tell me. Am I the monster for bankrupting my landlord over a digital timestamp, or did I just help him develop his property portfolio into a prison cell?
If you have made it this far and want to see more videos like this, then kindly subscribe and turn on notifications so you may never miss another story like this.